a Don Julio.
It's okay.
Reposado.
Yeah.
And a bottle of champagne.
Are you guys starting already?
So I can
Yeah, we're starting. Well, you can walk quietly, you just can't talk.
No, I want to close the door because
So orange
they're not
juice also.
gonna.
Yes.
Great,
So now I'm gonna mix
great,
it
great,
up.
great. Good idea. Thank you. All right.
Because it's daytime. You need daytime drink.
What'd you end up getting? Don Julio on what?
Champagne.
And champagne. Good call.
To make a mimosa. But I like to spike my mimosa.
You don't put orange juice in it?
Yes, that's it.
Oh, you also got that. You can't just
Yeah.
be two alcohols together.
No, I said orange juice too.
But lately I've flipped from tequila to mezcal.
I do not like anything smoky.
See, here's the thing. I feel you 100%, and I did. First sip of mezcal, never want to drink it again. Readjusted my brain, and now it's all I want.
Really?
After just one time, I was like, actually, they're making really subtle ones where the smoke actually just makes it feel like deeper. Okay.
I don't like the smoke.
Okay.
Not this one. I don't like scotch. I don't like whiskey. I don't drink any of that.
I drink every one. I don't like scotch. It's a little smoky and tight, but
Too much smoke.
But whiskey, like a good American bourbon, to me is
I guess that's like sweet or
yeah,
something.
it's not even, a little bit sweet, and it's just a little bit sweet.
I don't know. I call those all like war liquors. Like those veteran liquor. I just don't like them. Like I haven't been through enough.
You having a bunker at the end of a long day.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need something a little more refined. The word reposado makes it feel like it was not taken
Just
to
something,
battle.
and it's just something that's like I just have good times.
Yep, I love that. That's what life is about. Maybe, and here's a theory I'm just floating for the first time, but maybe, do you think we could create peace in this world if everybody just learned to like have good times more?
Yeah, I mean,
Party
I
more.
definitely think there's people who like they don't. Whatever it is, though, right? Like whatever it
religions.
is that you enjoy yourself, like finding out what you enjoy. I think there's a lot of people who are very repressed and have yet to find out what they actually like and what they enjoy, and they're kind of just like doing life, and that makes them like hate everything.
Yeah, it's so weird. They're literally taught, instead of learning something they enjoy, a passion, and then enjoying it, they're learned to don't have fun and then find people having fun and want to kill them.
Yeah, try to stop the fun.
What is, like, the fact that story works is the best salesmanship in history, because how do they sell that?
Well, because people are scared of themselves, you know? People are very scared to like discover and like go inward and figure out what's going on with them. That terrifies a lot of people.
Make sure it's recording, because that would be a fucking nightmare. It is, thank God. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like that, I think that's why, you know? People are scared of their own brains and shit like that. What they're, you know? Like that's why I think like a lot of people are like scared of drugs, or like, it's like, they're scared of their mind and where it'll take them.
Yeah.
I was talking to my nephew about that. Cause he was like, you do mushrooms, all that shit. Like, I'm not trying to, you know, want to jump off a bridge. I was like, well, if you don't want to do that, it doesn't implant ideas.
It doesn't implant suicidal ideas.
No, if you don't want to do that, it's not gonna do that.
It explores your own brain.
It just explores your brain, but you can't be afraid of your brain. To me, that's what makes a bad trip, is you start to try to control where it's going and where it takes you, because you don't want to go in certain directions, and you can't do that. You have to just kind of let it take you where it's taking you and be down for the ride.
Yeah, it's radical release of control when you're on a trip.
Yeah. But then in a way,
You have to be like, I'm gonna dive in, because if you try to control what your brain is doing when it's getting real out of the box, you would lose it in a second.
You'll go crazy.
Yeah. That is wild.
But to me, that's ultimate control. Like I think.
I mistimed that sip.
Oh man.
I knew it was my turn to talk, but I mistimed it.
You blew it. I picked it up. To me, that's
did,
ultimate
thank you.
control, though, because like you get to, for me, it's, I don't want there to be any part of me that I don't know or understand. So for me, like shrooms, MDMA, it's like there's no part of my brain I won't go. You don't know my brain better than I know my brain. It's more of a control thing. Rarely.
They don't want your thoughts to come out. They don't want our thoughts to come out. That's why society doesn't encourage that, and that's why they encourage you to take other people's joy away rather than explore your own, because it's all just control tactics.
And encourage
it's
you to
control
take
tactics.
mind-numbing drugs, not mind-stimulating
100%.
drugs.
Legal is alcohol, which I'm a defender of alcohol. It's fun to like let loose, but it's not a deep drug.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't like make you think about your existence or
No.
anything. You know, just whatever. It's a take me out of it drug, you know.
True.
And then the prescribed drugs are kind of the same way. It's like, let's just shut everything off in there.
Right. Whatever you're feeling.
You're feeling sad, we'll just shut the whole brain down for you.
Yeah, I had some shit
you don't
prescribed
have
like
to feel
quick.
anything. It's like,
I got prescribed for
all
ADD
right.
in a 2 minutes into a psychiatrist assessment on video. I told her one anecdote about not releasing an album for 6 years. She's like, "You have ADD. Would you like this medicine? You want this medicine?" I'm like,
damn, can we explore? Maybe I was going through something.
"Yeah, you don't care about me. I'm just a number to you."
That's crazy.
Yeah. So how'd you get started?
Boo! All right, I'm gonna tell you what happened. I was walking down the street and I met this homeless guy. And at first I thought he was homeless, but it turned out he was more like a voodoo man. And he was like, "I see something in you." And I was like, "What?" And then he pulled out a pot and he slapped me in the face with it. And I was like, "Oh, this is a sign."
It's a sign.
Went home that night, went to sleep, had a dream that I was on stage, but it wasn't me. It was my body, it was Bill Cosby's body, but my head was Jerry Seinfeld's head. And I was talking to a crowd of people, but they didn't have any face.
That makes sense.
So now that's why.
That makes sense. I like how when you have a dream as a comedian that you're not making people laugh. We have to take away their faces to justify it. So that's a really beautiful motivation. You know, do you feel like you still embody half Cosby, half Seinfeld?
Yeah, but it switched now. I'm Cosby in the head, Seinfeld in the arms,
That seems
CK
worse.
in the chest,
CK in the chest.
Bird
On
in
his
the
own.
legs,
Bird in the
and
legs.
Chris Rock on the
What
feet.
am I supposed to do with these legs?
That's how it. That's
Kicking
what it
these fucking legs. That's a beautiful. You're like a Voltron of comedians. I love that. Do you feel
But
like it makes
nothing
you
to do
funnier?
with the talent. No,
doesn't
this
make
is
you
all just
funnier.
appearance.
Oh. I'm picturing it way too vividly.
Yeah. No.
Oh man, please somebody create that image. You can use AI. What do you think about AI? Are we in big trouble?
I mean, you know what? I'm torn, and I feel like it's like, yeah, this is some scary shit. But I hate when I do these little fucking podcasts because I'm gonna say something that I've been saying on stage, but I think it, so it doesn't feel inauthentic to do, but it also feels very fucking cheesy to do.
No, that's fine because
But-
you're working out your thoughts in real time as the world ever shifts
Yeah,
at a very rapid
because
rate.
I do comedy for real.
Girl, you have to work on some
Out
shit.
in
I
the
get it.
world. But no, there's a part of me that is also like the kids coming up. And when I think about the kids, I'm not saying like high schoolers and all that. I'm thinking like the real, like the kids who are in first grade, middle schoolers. They are not. Someone is blowing my phone up
And there's a bug flying in my
must be.
face, so this is real bullshit.
Yes, have you changed your mind? Okay, thank you. I'll talk to you later. I'm in the middle of doing a podcast.
This is very unprofessional, Sam. Sam? Time is money, Sam.
Bye-bye.
Time is money.
So
You're being interviewed by an old school executive from the 50s from a movie. Sam, get into my office. You have a lot of talking to do here. I forgot we were talking about before our multiple distractions.
So there's a part of me that's like very scary, but then there's a part of me that looks at these kids, first graders, middle schoolers, whatever, and I'm like, they are coming up in a way where like they're not going to want to do real jobs. Like all the jobs that we need people to do, they're not gonna want to do. They're not even gonna go learn how to do. They're not even gonna give a shit about. Like all these kids just want to stream.
Yeah.
They just want to be like in their own little entities. Their
No
own
kid
little.
is going to make a paper mache volcano ever again
That's
at
what I'm
school when you
saying.
can just have AI draw it in a second
But
and
even-
3D print that shit.
But even beyond having AI draw, it's like if there is now this career path where you can be Kai Cenat and you can just go like make your own little world, be your own kind of thing, and push that to whatever millions you push that to, and you can be like rich beyond rich, beyond rich. No kid's gonna want to be a doctor. No kid's gonna want to be a lawyer. No kid's gonna want to do any of that shit. So it's like we're gonna need robots to do like real shit. We're gonna need
Right.
AI to like birth children. It's gonna be like Star Wars. You know what I'm saying? Like we're gonna need AI to
We're
like.
going to incubate babies in a robot?
Like-
Probably.
But like, you know, like in Star
could do
Wars
it.
when Padme's having the baby, it's like robot nurses and doctors
Right.
doing the shit.
True.
You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be like that because
Yeah.
no one's gonna want to do it. So I do think it's like good and bad.
Yeah, maybe that's fine. I mean, doctors make mistakes. Robots are smart. As long as we have a human like still observing it, and it's less people, so it's less lines of defense against corruption. So then all of a sudden you have a corrupt doctor who's like, let the robot do what he wants this time.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
not good.
You're always gonna have all the stuff though. Like that.
Yeah.
That shit's not gonna go away. The naturalness, like the nature of humans to be corrupt and stuff like that is not gonna go away because there's AI.
For sure, but
figure out
having
how to be like corrupt within the AI.
But having the more people layers you have, the more protections you are, because the evil guy in charge might be like, but I don't want Denise in accounting to think I'm an
yeah, that's
asshole.
right. You're saying
But
with more robots, it's gonna be less like
less
checks
people,
and balances.
checks and balances, for sure. But do you think it's futile to try to fight it? Do you think you just like kind of like a trip of drugs?
Can't
You
fight
have
that.
to let it go and
you
just
can't
ride
fight
it.
the future.
But you can regulate to like not like we've regulated technology from the beginning of time. We're just not doing it this time. We could regulate AI and say globally you cannot alter video. It must be 100% labeled all the time. We need to keep truth in this society.
I think
and we haven't done that.
too far gone. We're just too far gone.
Yeah, but it's just
I don't
6
know
months
that-
or so it's been doing
I don't
it,
know
a
that
year.
we can dial in it, but I'm saying just the way we think as a society and like the way that we have like because the misinformation and all of that it all leads to the next thing to the next thing to the next thing. So to me, if you want to talk about where the breakdown begins, it starts way before this AI. We've been living in a world of lies and confusion and bots running presidencies and you know what I'm saying, for a bit now. And I don't know how you can really dial it back at this point.
Right.
It's like it's too open source. Too many people have access to it. Like it would be one thing if it was just like these little nerd motherfuckers just all in a tower. They were the only ones who knew how to fuck with this shit and do stuff with it. We could maybe have a conversation, but anyone can access it.
Yeah, but that's
Most
why
people know,
what
like,
you're
what the fuck
describing
they're doing.
is government. And that's exactly what Trump and Musk are trying to tear down
Yeah.
for their nefarious reasons, I believe, is like part good reasons, but also part they're just power hungry and they want to make the rules of society against the nature of America, which is designed to have those checks and balances and to make sure that we the people get to decide along with our leaders at least. And they're doing the opposite, which is the definition of fascism, of oligarchy.
Well, yeah, but also I don't know, as an observer of all of this, I don't know how upset I can be at it because he said that's what he was going to do.
That's fair.
And then people still voted for him.
That
He
is
truly
the best argument.
never lied. He was like, I want to be a dictator. I want to be
He's the most genius politician
like
in the world.
Russia.
Yeah.
I want
He
to
said those
do-
words. I'll be a dictator on day one.
Yeah,
Elon Musk is going to decide
I
everything.
want to do this and I want to do
He announced
that.
it.
And so people voted for that. So I don't know. I don't know if they just didn't believe or they didn't really have a concept of what that actually
just didn't have
meant
a concept.
or looked like
Most
in the
people
world.
are politically pretty ignorant, I think.
So then they should stop voting.
Yeah, that's a good campaign. We should start a don't vote
If
campaign.
you don't know what the fuck is going on.
Reverse
and you
psychology would
don't-
actually work the best for that too. Be like,
Don't.
do not vote if you don't understand the world or your
Yeah.
country. Sit home.
Or you don't read, like I don't
Sit
know.
this one out. Yeah,
So there's a part
That's
of me that's
funny.
been watching all this like, well, the man has not lied.
that's true.
And this time he didn't even try to trick nobody. He was just
True.
like, hey, this is how I'm gonna run it.
Yeah.
If you give me point, we going like this, Jack.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Jordan wasn't known for his teamwork.
He never said he was gonna put a qualified person in a position. He said it. He's like, Herschel Walker gonna run the Rockets. This one gonna do this.
Yep.
He didn't say these were gonna be like things we discussed as a nation.
Yeah, suddenly it's like a reality show cast running the country. It's
Yeah.
like, Linda McMahon just did this. I'm like, okay, that's interesting.
He just,
Dr. Oz and Linda McMahon just had a meeting inside a ring in an arena.
hey man,
So what do you think about what they're doing? What do you think about the actual trying to get rid of all this waste and fraud and make people stop taking advantage of our tax dollars and actually make it more efficient? Or are they running crazy with our lives and our safety?
well, I think the problem is that there's some things that are not wrong. Like when Elon Musk goes, Social Security is a giant Ponzi scheme and it's fucked up and it's been a Ponzi scheme, and that is very true. That is not a lie. That is not a lie. Every fucking 5 years they tell the next generation they might not even have it.
Yeah.
It's because they're taking from the next to pay, and that's technically what it is.
Yeah.
And that is not a lie. But then they go like eradicate it, and it's
Right.
like, well, you need to have more things in place and a
Right.
little bit more. they're not careful with anything.
Right.
And
the back half of his sentence
Yeah.
could be it's a Ponzi scheme, but of course we're gonna figure out how to pay for it from other shit.
Or we're gonna figure out a way to make it more efficient.
Right.
Or we're gonna figure out a way to. But it's like
Taking a sledgehammer and
yes,
just
that's
destroying
the
shit
problem.
is wild.
That's the problem. That's what I think the issue is. It's like, is there a bloated government in a lot of senses? Is there probably a lot
Definitely.
of places? But we have to accept that we've made a system out of this, right?
And we made obligations too
Yeah.
to the world,
And we
to
made
people in our
yes.
country.
And it's how it feeds off each other.
Right.
So
They're relying on us.
The biggest problem is that they're not saying the real truth, which is that the whole country is a giant fucking Ponzi scheme. Outside of Social Security, the whole deal is a Ponzi fucking scheme.
That's really true.
And one thing needs
Wow.
the other thing to do the other thing. So you need the bureaucracy to support the government, and the government needs this to support that, and that's how this thing works. And if the people don't have the fucking jobs that don't really exist unless we make up fake shit for these motherfuckers to do, then we don't have the money to push back into the Ponzi to keep the shit afloat for everybody else. So if you start knocking the bottom out of this fucking thing, the whole house of cards is gonna come crumbling down because it was all built on bullshit in the first place.
Well, how do you feel about it though? I mean, I 100% hear you and I 100% agree, but I was talking even to make sure it's still recording. I'm not cutting any of this out because I'm too lazy to give edit notes, but I think it's natural and makes people happy to see us as real people. What are we talking about right before that?
You said you were talking to somebody. I don't know why I wanted to do that.
So good to see you, my friend.
It is. You said
How
you
are
were
you?
talking to somebody.
We haven't partied in a
We
while.
haven't hung out in a while. We haven't gotten like fucked up together in a
This
while.
is true. One of my favorite nights was our hang at my house for my party.
That was the best party.
It was
I
really
still
fun,
remember
right?
that party.
Yeah.
It was a good LA party.
Thanks. It was real fun. I had the fruit truck. We were eating fruit late night, and you taught me about pouring Hennessy, I think you said, in the fruit.
I did pour Hennessy in the fruit.
And we shared a Hennessy in a giant
shared
fruit
a Hennessy
cup.
Hennessy fruit cup.
A Hennessy.
You taught me
Mexican
about it.
fruit
It's
cup.
not a thing. It just was something I
Well,
did.
you sold it like it was a thing. I think you even said like you don't know this black people do this all
Well,
the
we
time.
do.
I think okay,
We do put fruit in
Well,
Hennessy.
okay.
If we have
The truth
available
comes
fruits,
out.
if we have
You're
available
dipping it in
fruits,
alcohol.
we have available fruits, we have available alcohol. The likelihood that we're going to put those things together is high.
It's a sangria culture.
It's a sangria culture at its core.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. That's why I love black people.
Because we're sangria.
Yeah, delicious drinks. I've said
This
it
is
for
going to go
years.
bad.
No, it's fine. Everything's fine. What? The police are here. This is Texas? I'm sorry. You like coming to Texas?
I do enjoy Texas, but it gets old to me fast.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the food and like just it's too repetitive in a lot of the ways. You go
Right.
to every restaurant, they got queso. You know what I mean? It's like it's just kind of one way.
And there's no way, even if you live here, you're passionate about that still. You're like, queso!
Yeah, and it's
No way.
like you just
It's heavy.
eating here for like a few days. You're like, I'm disgusting. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, it's not
like
good.
I went to Papados with my friend yesterday because I was in Houston, and they were very jazzed. I'm not, they were like, it's just the best. It's like Papados is fine, but we went, and I ordered a salad, and the dude said the dressings, and he was like, we got ranch, we got blue cheese, we got creamy vinaigrette. Creamy
My favorite, by the way.
vinaigrette.
My favorite vinaigrette.
Or you could just have oil and vinegar. And I was like, dude, why are all the dressing green? I was like, this is, and he just started laughing. He was like, no, you're right, that's crazy. I was like, bro.
It's for sure crazy. But you like lost my whole brain on creamy vinaigrette because you can't find it in LA because it's not healthy. And I love a creamy vinaigrette.
I was like, bro, every one of these is like.
or make yourself like this. Like, can't you
Crazy.
mix one that's like not based in cream?
No.
They can't do
If
it.
they couldn't do it, then they're like, you just throw sub dressing on your thing and get out of our fucking face.
Squeeze your own lemon on it. Don't you get it?
Put some salt and lemon on it and shut up. Yeah.
Yes.
It was ridiculous. I'm like, this
But-
is not, like, I could not sustain this.
But beyond the cream-based nature of the society here, what do you think about some of the stances Texas takes? Like, not in Austin, obviously, but abortion rights. I mean, I've been talking to people that are like I remember the thing I was going to say before I checked the camera, too, is that everybody will still justify everything. So even I was talking to a Trump supporter about them taking a sledgehammer at all the programs, and they said, but maybe that's literally the only way to scare the institutions into saying this change is real, like we're not fucking around, we're not going to incrementally go. And then with the same, and then that question separately, and how Texas has restrictive abortion laws that really fuck with women here, you can answer either one you like.
You know, it's so fucking hard, right? Because I am a true believer that everyone has the right to think what they think. I really believe that. I really believe if you do not believe in abortion, I cannot say you are wrong. I can just disagree with how you feel. Right? There are people who truly believe they are saving lives. And not just lives, baby lives.
Totally.
You know, like intensely believe on some guard warrior level shit that they have been sent here to stop this egregious killing and murdering of babies. And if you are that strongly feeling that way, it's like, I can't really.
Really, that opinion is the more compassionate one. They're trying to, if they believe it's a baby, they're trying to save it.
That's what I'm saying. They believe
We think it's nothing doing nothing, so it's much more important to them. Like if we had a compromise, we're like, I guess, I'm not suggesting.
Yeah, but you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, damn. So then you would hope in a democratic society that's working well, if the majority of the place agrees with this thinking, then thus that is the thinking of the area, right? Until, federal law steps in and says like, hey, we think federally, but then that still has to pass, which it did, but it was just.
Letting the states decide.
Yeah, I mean, it was just, I'm saying it wasn't like it was a amendment, so it could be up for conversation or whatever, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I can't think of the temporary status word that I'm trying to think of the abortion rights, but they weren't permanent.
I mean, it was just leeway. I mean, it was right. It wasn't in the Constitution. It was just a Supreme Court decision.
That's
so
what I'm saying.
It can be overturned. It can be relooked
it's just
at.
a decision, so
Not
it can
part
be
of
overturned. It can get looked at again.
Totally.
And as society changes, things can get rolled back or advanced. You would just hope it would go one direction and not the other. Right. I believe in a woman's right to make decisions for her own body, and I feel bad for any woman that's in a state where she cannot do that. But I don't know that I can demand of anybody anything, because we are all just living very fucking different lives. Like, I went to the rodeo last night and watched the entire rodeo, because I've always wanted to go to the rodeo because I watch it on ESPN all the time. And I was like, I want to see this. And I got invited to go to the rodeo, and I wrote a million jokes about it. So again, I don't want to fucking get into my bits because I want to do these tonight. But what just stuck out to me the most was, we forget that there are people that live like this. This is a way of life for them. It's a rodeo, it's a livestock show. They're selling and buying cattle. They got the kids involved. These kids have been doing this shit since they were 11 and 10, and now they're like, he's the head guy on the rodeo, and the announcers, just the whole shit.
It's a different culture.
It's a whole different culture. And it's that's what's going on all over this country. Is there's pockets of this country where people are living in their very own mini societies, and they have a way of thinking and believing that they don't want to just give up because you think it's dumb.
Totally.
Or an old way to live.
It's really what makes America so amazing, exactly the different cultures everywhere that are respected.
That's what kind of I was feeling. I was just like...
Yeah, that's a really great point that you make that nobody else has made. Is if we're going to expect them to be tolerant with us, we have to be tolerant with them.
Absolutely.
And we have to ebb and flow as the country moves. And that's how I feel just about Trump in general this time more so, is I fought tooth and nail every day the first time, but the country's going to do it again. I'm like, now this is what they want.
But that's what I'm
saying.
I
live here, and so I got to...
And rather than being what the fuck, it's I'm more interested in the exploration of why did it get here till they want that. Right. Because there is something was happening.
People can't afford life. That's it.
And I think also people are... It's a lofty idea I've been playing with.
Yeah.
But I think people are tired of thinking. I think people are tired of the idea of democracy, because democracy is active. Democracy requires so much of you. And I think people are just fucking over it. They're just I just want to go to work. I want to know my kid's okay. I want to pay whatever I pay and get whatever I get and be able to afford my shit. I don't want to entertain the rights of a transgender Mexican. I don't want to think about, and democracy requires that. A true democracy requires you entertaining all things, entertaining all people, considering, I think they just don't want to do it. I think they just don't want to do it. And I think they felt like, at least the people in the middle, like the people that I'm talking about, the people I saw at the rodeo, I think they feel like they played and it went against them.
Yeah, totally. Which is a misread and it's an overread.
Of course.
And it's misinformation feeding so much of it. And
Of
there's
course.
like 9 trans people
But
that they've never met, they're
but
never
I've
going to
said
meet.
this before, and I'll say it again, and people can argue all they want. Feelings matter more than facts.
Yeah, right.
Period.
Two people. You're saying it shouldn't be that way, but it is
It's
that
the
way.
fact. Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's not what should be. It's what it is.
Right.
If I feel something viscerally, you can show me a million facts.
100%.
It will not change that.
Yeah.
So until you start to address like how people feel and why are they feeling this,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? You're not gonna throw a bunch of facts at me. Like I was watching the rodeo, and one of my favorite
I
things,
love the rodeo. I've been once, twice.
One of my favorite things is like I love the steer wrestling when they jump off the horse and they get the bull.
We're
and
not
they have
talking about your personal life, okay?
and they gotta like flip it and shit, you know? And I was watching that and I was like, these are men, first of all. This is a man. Like I live in New York City, I don't live with men.
Yeah.
I don't care if you do construction. You're not riding a horse to catch a running bull to then jump off the horse.
You have a very high bar for men.
and
That's
then-
the minimum for
I'm just
men?
saying, like, these are
running
men
on a
men.
horse? What
I'm just
era
saying-
are you living in?
I'm just saying, these are men.
I
They're
do
still
push-ups a couple times a week.
They're still living like this. Like
All right.
you're
Yeah,
not
but-
gonna explain like homosexuality to this man.
To the man riding another creature aggressively?
No,
I can kind of get it.
not the way we spit, not the way we do gay.
What you do to the cow, some people want to do to another person.
Not the way we do gay. They would not get it.
Fair enough.
Not like that way.
Why?
That's
Because there's personality in it?
It's like that's why Brokeback Mountain they had to fight each other first. It's like they're just living different.
So good. They had to fight each other first before.
They're
hooking
just
up.
living
It's so
different. They're just
funny.
not. You know what I mean? Like you have to understand. Like no.
For sure. And so you're very right. Like we need to respect them as much as we want them to respect us. And
Or at least make an attempt to understand what the fuck it is.
absolutely. But that's why I always love when I travel. That's why I think the most open minds are road traveling entertainers, comedians, and musicians. Is you just see all the cultures, you see all the worlds. I love to go to a honky tonk little dive bar and hang out. I'll put a cowboy hat on and kick it. Like I want to be able to experience and respect like the vibe of all the
Their
different
way of
places.
life.
Yeah, it's cool. It gives us so much character.
And it's like
This hat you're wearing is country inspired. Like there's elements in all cultures that have some real cool output and some real cool contributions and vibes.
yeah, man, for sure. And it's just about trying to find like the harmony of that shit. You know what I mean? And also I feel like sometimes it's like, this is gonna sound real shitty, but sometimes it's like, you know, people want to stay where they're from so bad, and it's like, maybe if you're gay, get the fuck out of Mississippi. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like maybe Mississippi ain't for you if you're gay and you want to be gay like that. Maybe you can't. You might not be able to force Mississippi to be gay with you.
That's so
You might have to go on ahead and leave Mississippi behind, so you could go be gay somewhere.
That's their new slogan, Mississippi. You can't force us to be gay with you. It's a good point. It's a very good point. And that's what America's always been. But the only counter I'll say to you saying democracy requires too much thinking, I 100% agree that's how people are feeling now. But I think it's because mostly of two things that I've been talking about, which is social media and the news has created, because of this attention economy that we live in, their entire business models are our eyeballs. They're just literally retching our souls almost for $1, and they're forcing the populace to be hooked on all this drama. We're supposed to just elect competent leaders, not selfish ones we can morally trust, so we can sit back and not worry about the details. And social makes us weigh in like we're in Trump's cabinet on every fucking issue all day long. And the news, like a plane crashes, it's a tragedy. We used to just hear a plane crash, and it was sad, and we knew there were professionals that were gonna fix it. And now 3 days on CNN, we all have to become experts on the fuselage. They have an expert on, is that normal the way a fuselage will explode? Why does that affect, why is that part of my brain now? When do I get to relax?
Never.
Right.
Never. That's not how this works.
Which brings us back to the very beginning of what we were talking about, which is they don't want people to learn to have a good time. They want to in every way, through religion, through media, through big companies that are maintaining our eyeballs and distorting reality. It's all just for that exact same reason. They don't want us relaxed, so they can't capitalize on us if we're relaxed. It's really fucked up. It's the eternal problem. What's the solution? Like I heard somebody say, what they should do is put drugs in the water supply in some of these places. And you don't ever, of course, it's a horrendous thought to put anything in someone's water supply, but yet we don't scoff or blink at the idea of bombing a place.
Right.
We can kill the people, and morally somehow that can be justified, but giving them an eye-opening drug would be considered somehow worse.
Yeah, I don't know. You post something because I'm like, I would be more outraged.
Right? You'd be outraged.
Yeah, I'm like, what they're doing? What to the
They're enlightening
Lord?
people against their will?
Well, I guess you know what? It's because it's sneaky.
Yeah. I mean, bombs
It's
come up quick
sneaky,
too, though.
But it's a bomb. It's like
I mean, the end result is not sneaky, but it
it's
comes
like
up sneaky.
it's like bombs do come like people. I feel like usually there's a fight.
Not always.
I mean,
Sometimes it's dropping.
I know
It's
there's
like
some,
pew,
there's some,
and it's done.
There's some known drama though. And
There's
then
known
it's-
drama.
There's no drama.
There's known drama.
And then it's like a bomb is coming, even if it's
Right.
right 2 seconds before. You at least get a bomb is coming. But it's just
Right.
like I'm just drinking water and now I'm cool with getting fucked in the butt. That ain't okay.
That's not the conclusion everybody takes from drugs, by the way.
I'm just saying.
Folks, if you're going to try drugs, whether you will or won't, you decide. But
saying.
it's not going to make you want to get fucked in the butt for sure. That's maybe one particular
I'm just
experience.
saying.
Just
I love
generalizing
Alex.
here.
Alex is reacting like a
Alex English back there.
like an old lady in church. It's just like
This shit better still be recorded. This is fucking golden. Golden great. It's still working. It's still working. Damn. My God. Oh, shit. As always on my podcast, in the middle, I quickly for a minute interview you as Jay Leno. I don't actually do that, but we'll try it today. Yeah, it's great to be back with you, Sam. Sam,
nice to
everybody. It's great to
Thanks
have
for
you.
having me.
So, what are you working on?
I got a lot of things in the works. You know, some of it I can't talk about. Some of it I can.
Oh,
a little
very
bit.
secret. Very
Yeah, I'm
secret.
working on a little book. I don't want to get too in depth about it.
Okay. Show your writing.
Doing a little writing, touring always. You
Everyone's
know,
a writer.
I know you know about that,
You
Jay.
touring?
I know you
Yeah,
know
I'm on
about
the
the
road
touring.
line.
Yeah,
I'm on the
you
road line.
wrote a lot. I heard you haven't even spent any of your money from
No,
the first.
I don't spend any of the Tonight Show money. I just do corporates.
That's
do
what
a
I
lot of
heard.
corporates.
That's what I heard.
Buy a car every minute. Other than that, I save it all.
That's wild, man.
Yeah. So more about you. Where can people see you? Any cities you're coming to? Any social
Oh,
media we
yeah,
should
I'm
follow
gonna
you
be
on?
at the
Social media is very big these days. Social media, where we can find
I'm
you?
going to be at the Gramercy Theater on March 29th
sure.
in New York City. I'm excited about that. I got an Instagram.
Yeah, what's the Instagram?
At Sam J Comic.
At Sam J. I just realized today, a very sad moment in my life, you're not following me.
You're not Jay Leno anymore?
No, because I just got personally hurt and I left character. You're probably not following Jay either. Fuck, you're right. Apparently someone's too big to follow their own friend. Very exciting, yeah. Very exciting. Well, at Sam J Comic, that's a real pleasure. We'll be right back in the Tonight Show with the Olsen twins, who still look the same.
I don't follow people I like because I don't want to end up hating them.
That makes no sense. That makes no sense.
No, I'm like, I'll follow you. I follow Alex.
Yeah, yep.
I kind of like him.
Listen, we need to follow each other. It's important. Support each other's artworks. How you feeling artistically lately? Feeling inspired or tired?
Tired, but I'm excited. I'm doing a Fringe this year, and that's giving me a little like something.
Cool.
I
Edinburgh.
enjoy doing comedy overseas, like in Europe and stuff. I've really enjoyed that. I feel like the state of comedy in America is pretty shit right now, and a little bit, you know.
Based on what?
I just think the same problem we have social media. I just think the way people are coming into comedy now is like through these back channels and
As a business to like quickly boom, boom, boom.
And like, so just the artistry of it feels like it's dying, and like people just really wanting to get really good at it and actually having a fucking point of view, not just I think we've lost that. I think now comics just think they have to be funny and say silly things. And as long as they can get a room full of people to like laugh at anything, then it's like, I'm a fucking stand up and I'm killing it. And this idea of having a POV and a perspective to bring and like all of that and figuring out what that is and honing, that just feels like it is just like fallen completely by the wayside. And now it is just like, they're laughing, ain't they? And I'm always like, yeah, well, you could light your dick on fire and they laugh. I don't know that that's, at some point, that shouldn't be the only metric, you know?
Can I use that?
Yeah.
That light your dick on fire bit? I would love that, thanks.
Yeah.
Whatever works and make people chuckling, it's fine with me, you know?
You got it, man.
No, I think that's really interesting. I'm glad that Steve Martin clip's been playing for the Masterclass ad on Instagram, where the first clip, it goes like, you don't want to just tell jokes up there. You want them to get the sense this is a person who is talking to us. That's everything, and I think you hit the nail on the head there. I mean, with the rare exception of like somebody who's like a persona that does one-liners, like a Hedberg but even or Stephen Wright, but even they are that person
And there's
very
POV
deeply.
in there.
There's a ton of POV in there. That's totally true actually. They just write jokes more efficiently than us, really. That's true. Where do you see the country or the world or both in 5 years?
I truly do not know. I just think we're in such a very interesting and shifting, tumultuous time where it's like, who knows? I think we are playing a very dangerous game with something that is very fragile, which is democracy and the idea of true freedom. And I just don't know.
I mean, that's such a scary statement because that's pretty much accurate. I think that's a good read. And if so, we like really need to be standing up faster if we're like gambling it. Because it's not that hard to stand up to it. Like I just heard, and I don't know how this isn't very wide news, is that in April 2nd or something, there's a special election for 3 seats in Congress. And if Democrats win those 3 seats, they can now start stopping Trump. That's like the most immediate goal we should all be coalescing against instead of all this like theoretical talk on social media. We can just put a check on him in a month.
Instead of like, RFK got worms in his head, you know?
Exactly. We can't support him. He one time admitted to head worms. I don't know if you can hear it in my voice, but the worms have gotten there. God damn. I feel like people are getting more chill about trying to cancel people at least, which is good.
Yeah, but I think people are starting to come to the conclusion that we've got bigger fish to fry.
Exactly. 100%.
Like, out here trying to cancel motherfuckers.
The world's on fire. I don't care what pronoun you use today.
Yeah.
That's a strong point. Sam, let's party this weekend, I think.
I want to party.
Are you down?
I'm down.
Okay, cool. Are you going to come to the thing here tonight?
I don't know.
I mean, it's not set up yet. Maybe if it's going to be set up. We both came down. They said it was going to be set up. By the way, thank you to the stand for having me in your facility. And no thank you for not having it set up when Sam and I showed up. I luckily brought a backup mic, 2 mics.
A whole setup.
From LA just in case something like this would happen. This is some Boy Scout preparedness right here. But also thank you for having us. And
That was manly of you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that, you see? Does not be riding a horse and tackling
you're
it
not
to the
a real
ground.
man, but that
Your
was
bar
manly.
is so high. Now
After
I
I
see
saw real men, everything.
Now I see why you shifted to the other side.
Everything is perspective. I had not seen a real man, and now I have seen one.
Yeah, but you want me to start defining woman by the most feminine woman?
You should if you feel that way.
You're not going to be defining in that category,
I
then.
want to be. I like this little
You
middle
like being
boy
in this middle
line.
world?
Yeah, I love my little middle world.
Hilarious. I guess making peace with your own subculture too is the key. We all just need to like. It always has been that. It's just leave people alone. Just let people do their own thing.
Alone.
Yeah.
And people need to fight for, like, in each way. And people need to fight for their right to be left alone. Stop fighting for your right to be accepted. You really can't make people accept you. Right. So that's stupid. I've always thought that's stupid.
Yeah, you can make them just not fuck with you.
Yes. Stop trying to be accepted. Stop being like, this place has to let me do this. And
Right.
this place has to let me do
You
that.
have to do my cake.
Fight.
You don't have to do a cake with a cock on it if you don't want.
Totally, bro, I don't joke about that.
Really? Oh, really?
Really, that was the bit. It was like, how you gonna make someone do some shit with their passion that they don't want to do? That's fucking.
You must make it a beautiful penis cake.
That's wild
That's
as hell.
wild. That's so funny.
I used to have this whole thing about
Really?
gay people and gay marriage and gay people protesting in front of churches. I have a whole section on
What's
this.
the take on gay people protesting in front of churches?
You can't, like, of course this church doesn't accept, like, homosexuality. It's a
It's
fucking
in their
church.
book. It's in their book.
It's a church.
Right.
Like, that's the
Right.
deal over here.
Right. Go
Fight
hang
to
out.
have your own church.
Yeah.
So that's my thing. It's like on all sides.
Totally.
You know, just like, get it together.
Totally. But that also traditionally is what liberalism is. The left is about accepting everybody, and the right is about trying to keep things as it were and not accepting everybody. And that's why morally that's the incorrect position. But with the humility that's come from these last elections, that we also need to go slowly and talk it out and do what makes sense and not impose shit on you if you don't want to impose shit on us.
Of course, because then all you're gonna meet is resistance, and eventually the tides will shift the other way, and then they'll shift the other way. And it is this. If you have, it's a higher level of empathy that you need to have to understand. I think that in your belief that everyone should be able to do whatever the fuck they want, it is disrupting their belief.
Mm-hmm.
So, in essence, then they're not doing what they want.
Totally. You're making them accept you, and it's directly against their teachings.
Definitely.
So we gotta at least be chill with them.
Or at least go like, if the majority of the people where you're at think that way, then it's fine that it's that way over there. Like I
Right,
said,
totally.
and some people may need to move out of Mississippi.
Totally. It's a really strong point, and it's a really good slogan for them. I think they should consider it strongly.
I do think that's a perfect state slogan for Mississippi. Mississippi, you can't make us be gay. I love it. I would know how to act when I got to Mississippi.
Yeah.
I would act accordingly. I'd be
You
like,
would
they already let me know the deal.
You'd probably put on a dress when you went to Mississippi.
I know the deal over there.
I would pay to see it. I would pay to see it,
Like
actually.
Mississippi already said they don't do that over here in Mississippi.
Fair enough, yeah. That is the thing, as you said with Trump, too. He announces that shit in advance.
You know what scares us the most, I think, is that if we work with that concept, most of the country would be Mississippi, and we live in two places.
Right. It's okay, though. If that's what they want.
That's exactly.
Let
I think
things
that's
naturally
the thing.
shift.
That's what I think. Maybe we have to.
Right. Why do we keep fighting the same
I
fights
think
over and
maybe
over?
we have to, and maybe we have to then see what that looks like.
Hello, Ben Gleib and Sam J here for a splitting of the two countries into two separate countries. We're officially on the record. Kidding, I'm not officially on the record, but it's an interesting idea. I mean, we need to let...
I mean, that's what Trump's trying to do to some degree when he's saying turn it back over to the states, you know? But I think there's a bigger play. I think that he is trying to destabilize the union and turn it into territories and dismantle the FBI so there is no federal law so that then he can enact his dictatorship. That's what I think.
I think so, too. I mean, I think when you get rid of watchdogs specifically, that is not a nice thing to do. When you get rid of the Consumer Financial Protection Board and USAID aiding the world, it's not the best. We're giving up the moral leadership of the planet.
And beyond that, if there is no FBI, then there is no federal law. If there is no federal law, who comes in when things are really crazy? The military. What does that look like? A dictatorship.
Absolutely. Look, and he's wanted to do it before. Remember, he wanted to shoot American citizens in the legs when they were protesting. Not understanding what bullets do.
Just the legs, though.
Just the legs.
He's a compassionate man.
Such a nice man. Just make them unable to walk the rest of their lives.
Give him a little limp.
It's so weird, the world we're living in. I really think that's why it's so crucial to have compassionate leaders. It's like the most important, talking about empathy, it's like, it's the most important quality in a leader. You need two things, strength and empathy. You need a good, perfect balance of both. Maybe intelligence wouldn't hurt either, but now I feel like I'm asking for a lot. Would you ever run for office?
No.
Never.
You should at least know how government works to be in the government.
Or you do it Elon Musk way. He doesn't know either, and you can just go and figure it
But
out.
I'm saying that shouldn't be it.
Yeah, that shouldn't be it, but okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Are you going to tape another special soon? What's your plan?
I mean, I'm going to take one when it's ready.
When it feels ready, yeah. Same. I just taped another one, and I'm just writing casually as life goes. See what happens. Any last message to the world before we go and get drunk tonight at multiple parties?
Wipe your butts really good so you don't leave any weird stains in your drawers. Keep your teeth and your gums clean. And hold on tight, baby, because you're in for a bumpy ride.
Perfect. I love you, Sam.
Like you too, man. It's good to
Much
see you.
love. So good to see you.
Yeah.
Until last week, next week, this has been Last Week on Earth.